So we've been talking in past episodes of some events that happened with Michelle's health, and um, I found something very interesting through it all that pertained to me, which is kind of weird. But I was reaching out to her, and I made sure I'd let her know that I loved her. And that's something. And then I had big love for her and just wanted all the best and all this good stuff for Michelle through her surgery and recovery. And I realized that had that been, I don't even know how long ago. I don't think I could have even used a heart, like anything to do with that expression. And so I'm just wondering, like, you guys are, I feel, quite lovey and that you're expressive and about your feelings with in your relationships. And do you think that is just who you are? Do you think that's something you've become as life goes on? Because for me and my girlfriends, this one group are so lovey-dovey, and I've always been okay, but not really feeling comfortable expressing it. And now I am so much different. And I don't know if that's an age thing or just me changing,
Oh,
or you guys
yeah.
were either you not lovey-doveys? Were you kind of,
I don't know if I was standoffish. I was not as vocal.
yeah,
I'll
it's
put it
not
that way.
standoffish. I agree. It's
Right.
not,
I wasn't as vocal. And here's when I began to start changing. And it was, wow, it was years ago. Um, so I'm a child of divorce. So my father remarried later in life, and his wife had an extremely close relationship with her family. And I saw my father all through growing up. We had the visitation rights. I would go see him every week. I would do whatever. And I loved him. I did. And one day she asked him, "Why don't you tell your daughter you love her?" And he goes, "Well, she knows." And she goes, "Oh, okay." But then she watched me one day and she said to him, "Me, why don't you tell your dad you love him?" And I'm like, "Because he knows." And she said, "Oh, okay. So if something happened tomorrow, he would know you loved him because you told him." And that just hit me like a ton of bricks. So I think for me, it became a slow progression that it was actually became a joke because when I moved to Wisconsin, he's in Connecticut. So we had lots of phone conversations, and it would always be, "I love you." He'd be like, "No, I love you more." I'd be like, "No, I love you more. No, I love you more. I know I love you more." And we got extremely comfortable with it, that there was this warmth, that I felt this whole different warmth. And so as my children grew up, and they were also children of divorce, every time they left, I'm like, "Love you." And they're like, "Yeah, love you." To the point, one is 42, one is 39. We never end a conversation without saying, "Love you." Now, to expand further, I was like, well, I love you guys. You need to know that. Love in my relationship, love with friends. I am now very comfortable in letting people know how I feel about them in a loving way. And that came with age, and that came with somebody just questioning me, like, why don't you say it? But I did grow up in a house that didn't say it. So I'm just going to say that too.
Okay, Tracy.
Um, I think like growing up, we said it within the family. We told each other that we loved each other. Um, so the that dynamic within the family was very easy to express love or to say that. Um, I think I think to your point, Tracy, it becomes a some life experience, some age, or somebody, saying to Michelle what was said to her, like, what if he goes away tomorrow? I lost people when I was very young. Um, and I remember a conversation. I don't even know who these people were, but I was at a funeral and I remember this conversation with these people, adults, and I was very young at the time. And one of the things that this woman said was, I didn't tell them I love them enough.
Mhm.
And that also stayed with me. So I'm all about handing out the love. It's just like
Mhm.
I don't ever want to feel that when that feeling comes up for me, that whether it's appropriate or not, it's like I'm gonna tell you, I love you. I love you because
Yeah,
I think it's so important to let people know that they are appreciated. Love is about appreciation, it's about kindness, it's about warmth, it's about connection,
yeah.
closeness. Nothing trumps it. Nothing trumps love.
No,
And so to me, it's just so vitally important say it, to say it.
So if
yeah.
you, why do you think, so why do you think you wouldn't say it? Like I'm trying to look back and go, why wouldn't I be that expressive when I'm younger? Is that like fear of rejection
Yeah,
or like
you're
Mhm.
putting it,
I have more feelings for you in a good way, but you might go, oh, that's nice, Tracy.
yeah,
Like I'm
no,
just trying to
Right.
figure out what changed.
it's, yeah, it's probably fear of rejection, fear of maybe, sounding silly, fear of identifying your emotions. That's like, it's an emotional thing to say, I love you.
Mhm.
So I think there's so many people in the world who are just kind of closed off from saying that because it's a fearful thing. It's vulnerable. I'm being very vulnerable when I say I love you because I am risking rejection, right? You're risking a lot when you say to somebody, "Hey, I really love you," especially if there's an expectation that you're going to get something back. Now, when I say to somebody, I love them, I have zero
Zero.
attachment to that. It's like, I'm just, you know what? I just think this about you. I need to tell you because my body's just so full of it right now. I got to tell you, I love you. Like, you're just the
Hmm.
best.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but a lot of people want that reciprocity of, I love you. Now you tell me you love me. And if
Right.
that doesn't come back, it's like, ooh, that kind of stings.
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
specifically with friendships, like the whole talking and expressing myself within my family and even growing up, there was words less as I was growing up because I just don't think that was the norm is that mother, father for my family was every day we're saying we love you. Where in my family now with our kids, that word is just tossed around all over the place. But I'm looking at friendships. Like I
But that taught me how to open myself up to friendship. That taught me how to, if I was having a feeling of somebody that was close to me that I have a feeling of love for, to be able to express that.
I see what you're
So
saying.
I wasn't doing it within the household. So how could I definitely do it outside the household? You know what I'm saying? Now that, and I do think because I do think how do I want to say this? There's all this type of love you can have for somebody. There's, I think, different levels of love. And so um, I have male friends that I consider very close. I would never go over to them and tell them I love them because I don't feel comfortable with that, to be very honest. Because, but I think we have that closeness of a brother, sister, very good friendship with that, that we rely on each other. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel comfortable to say, but I am comfortable to say to that person in another format, hey, this friendship's important to me. I just want you to know that. I will say that. I am not comfortable in saying that to some of to any of my male friends. I don't think I've ever said that to them. No, that part I'm not comfortable with. And there's nothing other than I don't know why.
Well, again, just catching up to what's going being said. And you just said levels of love. And I think that's it, is that I learned love for my family, and I learned love for like my husband. But I never thought of the level of like friendship love. Again,
Hmm.
probably because how when we grew up, I don't know. I think there's lovey-dovey friends in that in back in the past, but I don't think it was talked about as
Hmm.
much. And so
No,
I just realized it's that if you were family or my husband, the love, then you're a person in my life, and I'm glad you're in my life, but I can't express the love. Okay. Learn something new again today. Levels of love. Levels of love. That's really good. I like that. I like that because I felt it was,
uh,
you know what I mean? Like, obviously,
yeah,
my love for you, Michelle and Tracy, is completely different than my
yeah.
children or and all that. And I just felt as soon as you use that word, it's a blanket statement.
It's a universal, and I
Yeah.
think that is a very confusing thing, and that's that is um not true, because the love I have for my partner is nothing compared to the love I have for friends. That love is untouchable. Like
Yeah.
that is, and a friendship is totally different.
And
Like
then
those are two totally separate things.
and then you circle it back to what Tracy said about the expectations. You are just
Right,
expressing yourself. You are
right,
not eh, thinking that you should have something back. I like that.
exactly.
Those
Yeah,
two really good points. Levels of love and that the expect no expectations.
right.
All right. We solved
I think you
another
can
problem
also,
with Tracy.
I think it's also sometimes helpful when it is outside of family context, when you want to tell somebody you love them, to express why. I
Hmm.
love you. You're such a giving person. Like, I just think that's so
Yeah,
amazing. Right?
yes,
It can then, because we don't know how they are going to think about what does it mean when somebody says I love you, right? We don't know what their context is, like your male friends as an
right,
example, Michelle.
right,
But you could say to them, I just love you. You know, your intellect and what you bring to a conversation is just amazing. I
right,
get fulfilled because I get to tell you how I feel,
right,
and I contextualize it for that person so they're not thinking, well, she's weird. Like, why is she telling me that? Like,
right,
what?
right.
You know what I mean? So
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
I think there's
Where's
a
this
way of
friendship
doing
going?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but see that's
No.
changed too because all the guys and girls we hang out with now, I guess we all say we love each other to guys or
Yeah,
girls. Like
right.
I hang out with
Yep.
mostly couples, so no one's thinking anything, but it's just much more freer. And I'm just was, why now? And you guys
But
all
isn't
for it.
it's so great though? I mean, isn't it like to it that is the ultimate expression, I think,
Yeah,
to
it
tell
is.
somebody that, to receive that, to actually receive it.
Yeah, and that
Yes.
you mean something to in my life. Like, thank you. Like, I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
express that because, you mean something to me.
yeah. It's just, I think it's the best. I love you girls so much.
I
Love
love you,
you.
girls.
I don't say it like that. I
Okay,
say it nicely.
I know. I'm only teasing. I think we're just giddy about it. So, how do you express love? Do you very easily able to express love to outside your family, inside your family, with friends? How is that for you? Let us know. Share this with somebody who you think might benefit from this. Make sure you hit like if you like the episode. Hit subscribe so you know all of our shows. Make sure you hit the notification button so you know when our next episode is out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.